Film Club.
Do you know what I did at the weekend? I accidentally shaved this bit of my beard off.
Could notice it as well.
Thank you very much for joining us for an episode of Film Club. I am one of your hosts, Andy Harrison, and to my right, as always, it's Danny Dalton.
Who has this little bit of his beard?
Every single week in Film Club, we invite you along to watch a film with us.
Big.
We dive into some of cinema's best before coming back here to talk it out. Andy, we are rounding out our Denis Villeneuve trilogy this week with...
Oh, fuck, I don't even know the name.
Go on, see if you can pronounce this.
What can I do the French version? Un trente et deux au sur terre.
Sorry to everybody who's French. Or 32nd of August on Earth.
Which is weird.
So give us the quick synopsis of what is 32nd of August on Earth all about.
There's a girl called Simone who has a car crash, and then after the car crash, she gets rescued and goes to hospital. And she's like, Philippe, my best friend who fancies me. I need a baby because life's too short. You can fuck me, but you can just leave it there after and you can go. So he's like, I've kind of got a girlfriend, but you know what? Yeah, I do fancy you, so let's go with it, but we need to fuck in the desert. So they go all the way to the salt flats because it's the nearest desert for what they can afford. And it's just like, yeah, it's a bit shit, this taxi driver won't fuck off. And then they go back and he's just like, nah, mate, it pays more money. So then they end up going to this road and they have a little argument. She finds a dead body. It's just like, oh, shit. So then they report to the police and it's thinking, nah, we don't leave our details. Now we just go back to the airport. We'll hitch a ride. Go up to the airport, end up in this like kind of like really room. So there's a bit of sexual tension. And he's like, nah, I do fancy you, but I love you and I want to be with you forever. I just don't want to like a daft bang. And then they go home. And then he gets beaten up.
Yep.
Sorry, that was a bit weird.
That's all right. That was a good one. I do wonder how many of these intros we've had which include the phrase, nah, mate.
Nah, mate. It reminds me of, yeah, nah, like, I'm Cork. This is Meek. And he goes, the film.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, Thor 3. And he goes, yeah, nah, but... And he goes, piss off, ghost.
So... Oh no, Meek's dead.
Yeah. Oh, he's alive. Yeah, he's alive. Sorry.
So, yeah, rather than us quoting Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
Third, Denis Villeneuve film. What do you think?
Which is, for us, his first feature one.
This is his first feature film.
What do you think? I just finished the editing now. I don't know. I wasn't massively impressed. It was just unusual.
It's totally different to the rest of his work.
Oh, I was thinking, I'm watching Arrival. There's a good one for. He was on about like
National UFO Day.
Yeah. Arrival. Yeah, it's a fantastic film. You look at Arrival, you look at Sicario. Sicario, prisons and stuff like that. How the fuck has he gone from them to this?
Yeah, completely.
I mean, maybe he's gone through like that idea of like you don't really know what's going on, and he kind of leaves you out the loop. In this case, it's more surreal. It's more like eccentricity. I can't fucking pronounce that. It's more so that. Whereas in these later films, there's purpose, there's a reason. It's like he's trying to lead you on the wrong direction or no direction for you to make up your own mind, because his films are more like who did it or like where's this going.
And he's what he does have here though, I think, is his pacing. I think he's got his pacing here, like that kind of slow pace, but he doesn't have his editing style.
It kind of has a weird editing style. It kind of flicks round and then to another scene, doesn't it?
Well, it's
almost
very,
like Wes Anderson.
It's a little bit Wes Anderson with a little bit Edgar Wright.
Yeah, Edgar Wright. Yeah,
but then also he does cuts in the middle of scenes, which are very like French New Wave. You know, that scene where they're walking down the alleyway, and like it doesn't really follow regular continuity. Which kind of makes sense. He just kind of cuts when he wants to cut.
Just a heads up. Denis Villeneuve in this film itself. He's French, but it's French as in French Canadian.
Yeah, it's not Montreal. A French film, it's a Canadian film.
Yeah, but I might took that. I do think sometimes it works, and there was a scene where it works. It's the fact that she has concussion, so she might not remember stuff, and I really think the quick cuts
that's a good one.
Help with that, because you see it from perspective. The best example is when she's in the taxi, and then she's like, oh, I don't remember getting here. He's like, oh yeah, taxi's paid for. Short-term memory loss.
Easiest by far, though, to say that this is Denis Villeneuve's, from the films we've seen, his funniest film.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, but it's not hard to go off. It's just like you've got like three really serious films, and it's just like, of course it's going to be funny.
But I love that the concept of this is just totally absurd.
Let's go and fuck in a desert.
I want you to put a baby in me. And he's like, kind of in love with you. And it's just like, let's play that out. Let's play his two ridiculous characters out. It's like that sort of, it's like comedy but grounded, but kind of like tongue in cheek and also really, really dry throughout.
And they're not like weirdos themselves, really, are they? They're quite normal people in some respect. They just,
Relatively, yeah.
they just have this. It's the tangent that they end up doing it on with their lives. You know, like spend 24 hours in this fucking weird place. I mean, you're weird, but you wouldn't do something like that, would you?
I might sleep with you in the desert if you pay me. So
$400.
$400, totally worth it. So what he does here, though, which I thought was kind of interesting, is there's some sort of like subtextual narrative going on, which I couldn't quite piece together.
Go on.
So there's things which pop up throughout the theme thematically, which happen like multiple times.
Is this like the charred man?
To suggest the what? Sorry,
The charred man.
explain the charred man.
The dead body that they find. Or is that just a way to move the film forward?
No, I mean things that pop up multiple times. So like the obvious one is the beginning of the film, she has a car crash, and then in the drive back, while the guy's talking to her, she has a nosebleed. And then later on in the desert, she gets smacked in the nose and has a nosebleed.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. Yeah, she does have a nosebleed, yeah.
And then there's this kind of like...
Maybe it's had that's the imagination of frailty.
Yeah, so I can't figure out, is there some sort of... If you watch this again, can you read this as, did she die in the car crash? Is there some sort of like purgatory thing going on? Are they in some sort of cyclical nature? Because like, does she end up in a coma in the car crash? And like, that's being represented by him in the coma at the end.
That's not a bad idea, actually. If you see it that way, then fair play. I mean, it is kind of hard to grasp at, and it's a good idea to come to. Maybe that's why I was a bit like, okay.
And then I don't know if you can clarify this for me, but I don't quite get why he made it the 32nd of October, 33rd, 4th, 5th.
There's
6th.
No reasoning behind it.
So I feel there's got to be
after the
something.
coma, that's when she finds out it's 32nd. So maybe the 31st is ended, and it's all
exactly.
The coma's like saying to her, "Yeah, it's the 32nd, it's the 33rd."
The two of them never have any idea what day it is. So like, there's this ongoing thing of like, you're in this sort of bizarre realm, and like they talk about being translucent, and no one can see them.
Yeah. And so that part actually interestingly, I did pick up on that. Is now you say it, because I was thinking maybe like something that happened with the crash and she didn't, not like more so what you're saying where she's in the coma, because I think that's a great point, great idea. But when after the car crash, I was thinking, what if she's saying she's translucent, but then I thought, there's that other part with Philippe after at the end where they're on the hill, and is that her like kind of like imagination? Is that her what's happening? It kind of switches and stuff like that. So maybe I was thinking, but then I thought with Philippe being there, I thought, nah, that's not the case. But I could be wrong.
Yeah. There's definitely something going on in it, but can't tell you what. I do like some of what they were doing visually. Obviously, this is the first Denis Villeneuve in our little trilogy we've done, which is not Roger Deakins.
Yep.
And it's very clear from the get-go. It's a much more grounded documentary feeling look to it.
Do you know who it was?
No idea.
Andrea Turpin.
Never heard of him.
Andrea Turpin. Well played. I knew who it was.
I like some of the imagery they play with. Like they tie in some of the thematic stuff into the imagery. Like I don't think it's any coincidence that when they go to the desert and they're supposed to be having sex to impregnate her, it's very barren. And obviously you don't get a child in the end of this film. And similarly, when you get the similar sort of imagery when they go to the Japanese bed place.
Everything's white.
Everything's white and clean, and again,
there's no personality
kind of
to it. Yeah.
So I just like there's clearly some sort of subtextual stuff going on there. She gets this like association with the color yellow throughout the film, which is kind of cool. Just look like a little pop.
When?
At the beginning-ish, she's wearing a yellow. Oh, you tested me out. Jacket. You guys will see it down here, and then later on it pops up.
Oh
again.
yeah,
she's wearing
jacket,
a yellow dress. I think later on.
What does that represent?
Who knows? Maybe it's just to make you kind of more endeared towards her. She's a positive thing in the,
yellow
film.
Positivity in the film?
Yeah.
All right, I didn't know that.
It's like it's a pleasant color, isn't it? Rather than if she was wearing some sort of sickly green.
I like green.
You at least got some yellow on there.
I have a yellow locket.
Also, what I think we can take away from this is from the beginning, Denis Villeneuve clearly had some understanding of using silence in his films. Because, like we've been talking about for the past couple of weeks, very, very quiet in lots of places, and then suddenly we'll punctuate with music.
And that guy...
You can pick that up later.
Yeah, I will. That song, when he goes, it's all in French, and he goes, da, da, da. It's like a really, like, Frenchy kind of, like, upbeat song, and it completely just blasts in you. It's like, oh, okay, I'll roll with this.
Yeah. No idea when that happens, but I'm going to say yeah.
No, he does it twice, and it's towards the end as well. And he goes, oh, John, oh, John. I can't remember.
Can you explain this for me? Right. I just want to strip away like some of the discussion on like what is this film any good? Is it not any good? Whatever. I just want to talk narrative for a second. Who were those guys at the end that beat him up?
Oh, fucking, I didn't like that. That's the one. That's why I came out like, because I was enjoying it throughout, and it was fun, and you were like, and it was endearing in some respect. You liked the characters; they had good chemistry together. The way they were just like jokey and best mates. Then suddenly, they go and beat him up, and it's just like, yeah, nice one. Okay, excellent. There's nothing to do with Juliet. You know how that's going. I do like the part just before, and he goes, "Oh fuck," as if to say like, "Yes, I'm gonna fuck her." But like, they just come about, they go, and I was just like, oh, what a fucking shit way to end up like what was going to be like quite a pleasant experience filming that. And that's what brought it on to the end. I was just like, yeah, it was all right.
That was another thing that made me start like thinking, is this some sort of like subtextual narrative that's going on that, and like these two aren't really there because, excuse me, those guys come out of absolutely nowhere, both narratively and literally. They just drive.
No, you can hear them in the background. So audibly, they're revving away whilst he's having that like internal struggle of do I fuck her or do I not fuck her?
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's no reason for them to be there, and then suddenly it's just there, and it's not like they play a small role; they play a huge pivotal moment in the film. It was bizarre, just absolutely bizarre.
Then she decides to fuck him, but you don't see it. That's when the film ends. She goes, "I want to make love to you."
Yeah, which like is I don't know. I want to sit here and be like, there's like it's a subtextual narrative about like birth and rebirth, and like she's going to rebirth him by bringing him out of his coma, and all this sort of stuff. But it doesn't quite feel like it's
Andy,
there.
this is 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So he was. I mean, how old is he now?
He is 18 now.
He's 50, so he was 30 at the time. So not much older than me and you.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I hope he does. I hope with these great ideas. But this is him starting out in the industry. So I'd like
but I mean, like, I don't think it's fair to judge an artist based on their age.
True, but at the same time, he's only going to get better through time. We've just done Prisoners, we've done Sicario, we actually love Arrival. I think our experience of Denis Villeneuve, how we pronounce it, is he's fucking up there.
Oh yeah, no, this doesn't take away from Daniel at all.
But we're trying to justify something like...
I'm just looking at this film.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I'm trying to justify this film because I think my expectations up there, and after bringing them back down, I'm like...
I think as a first film, this is phenomenal.
I tell you what, it looks, and the action and everything's amazing, isn't it? For a first film, I was thinking that earlier, I was thinking, well fucking played. And I really enjoyed it. I do agree with that part. I just think, it's the ending's got it for me, and that's what's made it just meh. And I hope there's some underlying theme. I hope there's something like that. But I just don't know, I don't like stuff. I remember watching a film, so I'm going on a tangent. I watched a film. Great thing, it was a bit like a romantic kind of film, and like, because that's my little soft spot, my like weakness like that. Like this, and that, like, start liking each other. It's going like this, going like this, going like this, and it's getting so far. And I'm thinking, you know what? There's some good chemistry here. Really good film. All this is going about fucking ends with the fucking guy, Twin Towers. He was in Twin Towers. Like, you fucking cunt.
You're talking about Remember Me, yeah.
Oh no, he shouldn't have done spoilers, but.
No, that film is not worth saving spoilers for.
Fucking don't watch Remember Me.
Yourself.
It's so annoying. I really enjoyed it. And I like the girl, the guy, and anyway, it ends up with Twin Towers. It kind of like that is bad.
I tell you, Lee loves it. He loves that film.
Oh, fuck,
and like, I've had multiple debates about why that's a bad ending. But
I fucking
he thoroughly believes that it's not it's a wonderful ending.
If you just chop the last part off, it'd be a great film. Yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of thing that's got it for me. I do apologise, but
no, I totally get that. Absolutely get that. It's cool to see that he really understood where his influence was coming from, and like you get a whole heap of like I said earlier, French New Wave in this, but hey, there is the 32nd of August on Earth. The French name is
fucking hell, mate, I'm in a little coffin here. Enchanted de terre.
You can join us next week, or you can hit us up in the comments below right now if you want to let us know what you thought of.
Oh, fuck off. Enchanted de terre.
Or you can leave that below in the comments, or you can use it on Twitter, as always. Next week, do you know what we're taking a look at, Andy? I do. You got a choice. Do you know what the choice is?
Go on.
Right. Do you want to take a look at, I'll give you a little bit of leading here. Do you want to take a look at some more French New Wave? Well, I guess this isn't technically French New Wave, but actual French New Wave. Okay. Or do you want to take a look at an Australian film that was thought to be lost for years?
Well, just give me the names of the films.
No.
I wouldn't mind trying French New Wave. I like French house, so I like the French, and I like the French language.
You can join us next week where we're going to be taking a look at Jean-Luc Godard, Picard, Onward, Upward, A Third Frontier. You can join us next week. We're going to be taking a look at Breathless. Thank you very much
Is
for
that the name
joining
of the film?
us.
I thought it was Onward, Upward, A Third. So Breathless is the name of the film.
Trying to get the director's name right.
No,
you can take a look at Breathless with us next week. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
That's class. That.